Patrick Beverley learns his fate for gaining the respect of the Lakers locker room. Trevor Bauer holds a key to the Dodgers offseason, or at least a monkey wrench. And is anyone else out there thinking LAFC won MLS Cup in spite of Gareth Bale? Just wondering. Hi, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is Faithful Angelino's Morning Report. So it is November 25th, 2022. I hope your Thanksgiving was as good as mine. Wifey and I, we just used it as a day of rest. It's a glorious time. We're very thankful for it. Hope yours was good too. In the meantime, life goes on. So if you like the content we put out, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And comment. It's one of the reasons I created the show in the first place. So before we go through the news and notes, looking at the scoreboard, USC basketball did in fact show me something. A little something anyway. It wasn't overwhelming, but they did take a ranked team to overtime. Number 22 Tennessee outlasted the Trojans 73-66. Now, if you recall the Trojans, they got bounced in the first round of March Madness last year. Way too many turnovers. In overtime of yesterday's game against the Volunteers, the Trojans committed 7. So have they really gotten that much better? We don't know yet. Meanwhile, today, number 18 UCLA football will try to save itself from a 3-game losing streak and a one-way ticket to the Roto-Rooter Excrement Bowl. They're going to be needing a win against Cal this afternoon to do that. There's a preview of that game on the UCLA playlist. The Lakers will be in San Antonio tonight at 5. LeBron James is said to be coming back with a healthy groin. A happy, healthy, bouncy groin. And this is why I don't like talking about men's groins. Denver is in town. They're going to be playing the Clippers at 7:30. Now, for all the happy talk about Kawhi Leonard and Paul George regaining their health, keep in mind the facts. We don't have a timetable for their return, so they're not playing tonight probably. We just have to deal in reality. The Kings will play in San Jose tonight. Goalie Jonathan Quick, he's in the final year of his Kings contract. He's within reach of becoming the winningest American goalie in NHL history. Quick has 365 wins. Ryan Miller, 391. Meanwhile, USC basketball, they are in the third place game of the, I don't know what the hell it's called, tournament out in the Bahamas. Trojans are going to be playing Wisconsin at 10 a.m. The Lakers' Patrick Beverley has been suspended for 3 games without pay for quote-unquote forcefully shoving DeAndre Ayton to the ground in Tuesday night's game against Phoenix. Now, we've been over this for the last couple of days. I'm not trying to argue whether it's morally right or this, that, or the other. What I am arguing is that some penalties are worth paying. They absolutely are. Because it might be a galvanizing moment for the team. I have at least 4 Lakers on record absolutely loving what Patrick Beverley did, including Russell Westbrook. And Russell Westbrook and Beverley were allegedly enemies for years. Now they're boys. So there's a win there somewhere to be found. The same pundits who are currently unbunching their pantaloons over Beverly's shove, they were the same people who panned the move when the Lakers signed Lonnie Walker IV. And I understand it to an extent. Rob Pelinka has made some moves that made us all wince. This one isn't one of them, though. The man is earning his keep. Walker is scoring a career-high 16.9 points per game. Now, he's apparently utilizing meditation. There's a room somewhere in Crypto.com arena that's for the visiting NHL coaching staff, like when Vancouver comes in to play the Kings. Walker goes in there, closes the door. It blurs out all the music from the arena. He can sit there in the dark, focus in. And whatever you use to succeed, dude, that's not my place to clown. Point being, it sucks to lose Malik Monk, but the fill-in hasn't been that bad. Aaron Judge did have a meeting with the San Francisco Giants a couple of days ago. Now, you're going to read a lot of talk online about how the Giants impressed the quote-unquote hometown boy. First of all, Aaron Judge lives 2 hours from San Francisco. Or I should say, grew up 2 hours away from San Francisco. That's like saying somebody who grew up in Palm Springs or Palm Desert can't wait to play for his hometown Dodgers. It doesn't make any sense. And by the way, Judge currently lives in Tampa. So maybe they did impress Aaron Judge, but ask yourself, you're a home run hitter. Where's it easier to hit home runs? Yankee Stadium, Dodger Stadium, or Oracle Park? I think you see my point. A decision on Trevor Bauer's appeal will be released, quote, no sooner than next month, unquote, according to the LA Times. Yippee. Yippee. So we'll go through it real quick. He's appealing a 2-year suspension. He has not pitched since June of 2021. The suspension took place in 2022. It would end, therefore, in 2024. Now, for those of you who don't know the facts about Trevor Bauer's case, it goes like this. There is a ton of he said, she said. There's a woman who claims sexual abuse, but the case never went to trial. Now, from that, you might sit there and say, well, wait a second, Bauer's not guilty. But by my count, unfortunately, 3 other women came forth and said Bauer strangled them as part of so-called consensual sexual encounters. And MLB has the right to suspend players in sexual assault situations without a conviction. Bauer won't settle with anyone because he says it was consensual, therefore he never did anything wrong. The woman has photos. The one who tried to make a case out of it. The woman has photos, lots of bruising. And with all of that said, who feels like throwing up? I had a Burger King breakfast. I already felt like throwing up, but this isn't exactly helping matters. I try to have no opinion on legal matters when I don't have all the facts. Why? Because I don't want to get sued. All I can say about this is, Wifey and I have never broached the hey, would it be hot if I strangled you topic. We're Puritans that way. There we are, just like riding our horse and buggy into town after a busy day of churning butter. That's how Puritan my wife and I are. What I do know is that the Dodgers have a lot riding on this appeal. If the suspension is completely overturned, for example, the Dodgers would owe Trevor Bauer last year's pay as well as the upcoming years. They owed him $30 million at least last year. Now, if the suspension is reduced, the Dodgers would owe him less. If the suspension is completely upheld, it's a wrap. Bauer would be a free agent going into next year. The Dodgers wouldn't owe him a red cent. So as you can tell, with somewhere in the neighborhood of $30 to $60 million on the line, the Dodgers are kind of not making massive waves just yet in the free agency market. We have to wait. Agent Scott Boras, who represents Cody Bellinger, blames the lack of time for Joey Gallo's bad year. Lack of playing time. He represents Gallo as well. And all I'm going to say to Boras is talk to the Yankees, Skippy. Talk to the Yankees. A writer for the Belcher Report, citing absolutely no sources whatsoever, ranks 6 teams ahead of the Dodgers, by the way, to retain Cody Bellinger. That would be the Cubs, Cincinnati, Colorado, Milwaukee, San Francisco, and Toronto. By the way, when Bellinger signs with a new team, don't be surprised if it's for significantly less than the $18 million that the Dodgers would have paid him for next year, had he stayed. I watched Iran versus Wales this morning in World Cup soccer. There were 0 LAFC tweets about the game other than Gareth Bale starting. And then Wales got embarrassed by losing to Iran 2-0. Bale had a penalty kick goal that LAFC lost its mind over. Other than that, frankly, he's been pretty ineffective. Now, could it be the reason Gareth Bale is so ineffective is that he's still out of shape? Could it be that's why he didn't get on the pitch for the black and gold in September, October? I'm not blaming LAFC, by the way, for Gareth Bale's performance either with MLS or in the World Cup. What I am saying is that this is what Real Madrid was complaining about with Gareth Bale. This is what Tottenham Hotspur was complaining about with Gareth Bale. He would not get on the pitch. All this guy wanted to do was play for the World Cup, but he apparently didn't want to put in the time, I would say, with LAFC. Tried to play his cards right for the World Cup, and as a result, Iran wins. Iran. Haven't they been like the bad guys for 45 years? Iran wins. So no happy tweets coming out of LAFC today. By the way, just so you know, that win for Iran over Wales turns up the heat on the United States today and when they play Iran next week, because that draw against Wales a couple of days ago is not that impressive right now. Do you remember how USC's top recruit for 2023, Los Alamitos High School quarterback Malachi Nelson, how he was apparently considering Texas A&M at the start of the season? Maybe leaving USC to go gig 'em with the Aggies? Yeah, the Aggies are 4-7. So I think he's pretty much going to be running to Heritage Hall to sign his letter of intent in a few days. By the way, Los Alamitos ended their season by getting steamrolled by Mater Dei 52-0 last week. The Chargers have every reason, from what I'm looking at, to expect more from Keenan Allen this Sunday as he continues to rebound from a hamstring injury. Now, the receiver exceeded expectations. He caught 5 passes last week in the loss to Kansas City on Sunday Night Football. But if you saw Monday Night Football the next day, Arizona just flat out gave up against San Francisco. They rolled over on their backs and let the 49ers just scritch their little chubby bellies. That's how much they conceded. So the Bolts should absolutely be favored to beat the living daylights out of Arizona. We're going to talk a little bit more about that game later today in a preview. Third string quarterback Bryce Perkins got first team snaps with the Rams in practice this week. He apparently might be starting, we just don't know yet. Meanwhile, Coach Sean McVay did not rule out shutting down Matthew Stafford for the rest of the season. The Rams have done a lot of things suboptimal this year. I think we could all agree on that. One thing that they also haven't done particularly effectively, they have just one takeaway in their last 8 games. No interceptions, not a lot of fumble recoveries, just one takeaway in 8 games. Finally, a lot of websites, they like to look back on NFL draft busts. Well, The Athletic, they're a little bit more complete. They go back to the NHL prospect list and figured out who they thought was too low rated, who was too highly rated. Their NHL draft guy has come back and said he was wrong about how he rated the Kings' Sean Durzi way too low. Said in retrospect, Durzi's hockey IQ makes up for his lack of skating. So apparently the Kings swiped a good one in Sean Durzi. Lots to talk about, and it's going to be a busy day for the Angelenos. We're going to have a rapid recap after UCLA's game. We're going to try to put up previews for USC, the Rams, and the Chargers. I'm going to be sick of hearing my own voice at the end of the day. So that means I want to hear yours. Let me know what you think in the comments thread. Surprisingly fun little Thanksgiving, wouldn't you say? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We always talk LA sports here. I'll be back later today. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.